anywhere. You have to sit down and
welcome. My name is Kwabena Darko. Welcome. Today I want to share with you the entrepreneurship journey. A lot of people think of starting business. Sometimes it's out of necessity. Sometimes maybe they just happen to have been told from the workplace that go home and they don't know what to do. Sometimes it's out of retirement. But whatever it is, there are things that you have to know, and there are things that you have to get clear in your head when you think of starting a business. There is this person that I used to work with, Kwaku. Kwaku did not go to school. He's been a taxi driver almost all his life. So the other time he's been calling me, and so I picked and he said that he has his brother who has gone to school somewhere. He has BSc, he has MSc, he's gone to plenty school, and he's been looking for a job. He said that he was working somewhere, and they told him to stay at home, and he's been at home for some years now, so he's asking if he can get some job. And then I asked Kwaku, I said, I don't take those things, because if I take you to another person, a lot of the times most people are also going to them, and so I don't want to be in a position where you'll be calling me and I have no influence over anything. But I asked him, so why can't your brother start a business? He said, I don't know. Myself and my senior brother, we have a pineapple farm that we've been doing for the last 2 years or so, and they have some harvest. And I asked him, so why does your brother who has gone to school, the other brother who has gone to school, need a job then? He said that, I asked him, so has he ever shown interest in this? He did not give me any good response. And so today I'm talking about thinking of starting a business, because there's something that those who have been through this formal education don't get. That it's not only you who are looking for a job. There are a lot of people like you. And it gets to a certain bracket that your job, if you are, let's say, right after national service, 20 years, 23 years, there are a lot of you like that. If you go to any company, they don't expect a lot of expertise, a lot of experiences from you. Now, the moment you cross 35 and you don't have specific skill set that companies really need, and you just like the people who have just completed school or have just gone through their national service, and you have no special skill set that any industry needs, it becomes very difficult, because then it is easier for them to pick a young graduate without any family. Maybe 35, 40, you have a family, you have children, you have wife, you have parents depending on you. Most companies will not want to take you with your raw skill set. And so Kwaku's brother that he was pressing, I was thinking perhaps is in that category. So getting job in that kind of situation becomes difficult. So your way out, if you want to stay in GH, will be to humble yourself and to get the right knowledge, so that you can be at least on your own, start a business. Some people will argue that the business started is not for everybody. I said that employment is not also for everybody. But it comes to a point where if nobody wants to pick you, who told you that the business is not for everybody? Everybody can do something, especially if his business is not for everybody. Then why most people, when they go on retirement, especially civil servants, then start to do something for themselves? So there is this woman that I was told was working in a bank, and after some years that she went she went on retirement, she started to sell kinky. There are so many things. Some teachers will start to build a school, some people will start restaurants, some people will even go and start farming. So this idea that not everybody can do business it cannot hold. If you have nothing else to do, our grandparents, nobody was employing them. They had to do something for themselves. And even though they brought this school, but the rate at which industries are being built, they do not directly match with the rate at which we are producing a number of these graduates. So the other day I was checking the JSS people who just wrote the exam, and there were more than 500,000 in Ghana. So roughly, let's say half of them will be in the university. So you have about 200, 300,000 graduates every year. If and if you want to add all those who drop out, for instance, those who just finish, if in the next 10 years that group will be 500,000. So every 10 years we have minimum of 5 million people looking for job, and it's going to increase because population is increasing. So we have to teach our people the reality of living. You will either find yourself employed or you will find yourself employing somebody. They're employed most often. If you look at the setup of our schools, you are employed by government mainly. The school is training us to go and work for government or to go and work for some multinational somewhere. Or if you're unemployed, if you're an employer, you either build something to employ yourself, or you build something that can employ more people other than yourself. Majority of the things that we respect, the people who have gone to school respect, is that you get big government position or some big multinational work. They give you car, they give you house. Your mother will be very happy, your father will be very proud of you, your brothers will sing hallelujah to you. You just finished school and you got that kind of thing, big portfolio, you'll be on TV, you are sitting with government officials. Very few people will be in that category in the first 2 years or so of completing school. If you take the other part, which I took, it's not very palatable. People don't respect that. You want to start a business, they say that because you don't have anything to do, that's why you're thinking of starting a business. Somebody told me that the school that you have gone to, what are you using it for? So those are the things. So there's a certain personality that you have to become for you to be so much comfortable in being that state to building your business. There are a lot of things that you have to really understand and deal with, and a part of it, some of it will be, you have to be certain that this is what I want to focus on. I want to build a business. And then you have to know the area that you want to build a business. Majority of us, we have no skill set after school. We have no money. We have no connection. We have no network. It's just vim that we want to use to build something. So the journey is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very tough. It's not safe time. It's not the devil. It's not demonic. It's not any curse from your family. It's just the reality of living and you trying to pick an idea and making it become a reality. So you have to tell yourself, I'm going to build business. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to look for a job. I want to build business. And that is what we told ourselves. And we didn't even know what we were telling ourselves, because then the journey will take so much time. So if you're able to do this, maybe with technology and some other things, and even sometimes depending on the kind of industry you go into, sometimes some people can be able to build something under 5 years. But majority of us, even 10 years, we still don't have a grip of what we are building. So, being focused is key to you being able to hold on onto this journey. The other thing is you being very much clear, because there's so much superstition, there's so much religious teachings, there's so much we've been bamboozled, and we've been some people have bulldozed us into submission and into all kind of interpretation. So some ideas come to you. If you're a typical Christian, you're waiting for God to give you green light, the Holy Spirit to tell you which way to go, and all kind of teachings. When you meet mistakes and difficulties, somebody will tell you that, come, let's go to this forest and pray for 30 days so that all the difficulties that your business is going through, you'll be subdued. All those things, the moment you submit to these things, your journey will be so much painful, because then you are deviating from the realities. Business, a lot of the times, not all, but a lot of the times, majority of the times, is about realities, about facts. It's about data, it's about reasoning, it's about logic, sometimes about creative thinking, sometimes it's even about instincts, but mainly you are looking at facts and making right decisions. Hardcore skill set that you need. So the moment you bring a lot of religion into it, and you spend a lot of time following religious activities. I remember one of my friends who traveled to another country and go and look for some anointing water or oil somewhere and spray it in his business because he was going through a lot of difficulties. For me, those things are a waste of time. You just have to study the business and become better and know what you don't have and what you have, where you're lacking and where you have strength. The moment you're able to think through this and then know that there's nothing evil, there's nothing somewhere that somebody is trying to pull, that's why you're suffering. It's just the economy, where you operate, the skill set, your network, all these things. When you start, you're building them. And so the moment you're able to tell yourself, there's nothing wrong with me, the difficulties, there are things that I have to know for me to get to a stage where the business can work. So you tell yourself, I'm focusing on this. I'm not going to look for a job. I'm not traveling. Sometimes they will bring school. You have first degree, you don't know what to do with it, and you're looking for another second degree. All kind of things. Africans are very, we are not focused. So all kind of things. When you make one decision, there are a lot of fizzy things around it. And so these things make business journey very, very much difficult, and that's why most of us don't succeed that quickly. The other thing that you need to work on will be your ability to make the right financial decisions, and this will be contingent on you having the right financial information, the right financial data. And because most of us will come from background where your parents or your family did not make that much money, a lot of the information that you are bringing, even in your personal life, you've not been able to be, you've not been able to have the right financial data and to be able to build the right financial skills and discipline, even to handle your own personal finances well. And then you are building a business, and use the same person showing up in the business. So you're going to make a lot of wrong decisions with money, where you don't have to make payment, where you don't have to trust people, where you don't have to even buy that thing. You'll be making all these errors. And one of the things that will easily put you into trouble is wrong financial decisions and choices. And so these things, the moment you start to get them to a certain level that they work, then you start to see success in your business. The other thing will be the team that you roll with, the people around you, the network, the kind of people you flow with. It's going to decide whether you're going to be successful or your success is going to delay. The people, the quality of people you move with, you have to be certain. Even if you're forming partnership with somebody, you must understand how they think, the level of their courage, the level of their resistance to pain, the level of discomfort, controversies, the compassion that they have, their flexibility. Are they able to trust people? Are they able to, be frank? Are they able to talk out of their heart that which they are deeply thinking of? These things will help. Do they even have the right skill set to complement you, for you to have the business work? That state is also critical. The people, the employees, the friends, even the companies that you keep. If you're building business and all your friends are working in these companies, they have cars, and you don't have anything, you're still living in your brother's room or your mother's room, and all your friends are married with children, nice cars, nice estate, you will give up. So you need somebody who is also on the same kind of journey with you, and you'll be sharing stories, you'll be sharing the journeys together, I think, and sometimes even grown up. But one thing I also use is people who have ethics, strong ethics, truthful, honest, people with high integrity. You need that. You don't just need somebody to look up to. You need somebody who has built something out of honesty, also out of integrity. Listen, anybody at all can build business. A lot of our people say that they are contractors, and they depend on this government contract. A lot of our so-called big men depend on government, and we all know, dealing with government, the things that are involved. So sometimes when you're looking for somebody to look up to, and the person has compromised almost everything for money and status in society, for me, it's very difficult for me to look up to such people. Because then the substance of that which they teach is not a reflection of their capacity and their experience, and even the things that they are made of. They don't reflect that, because they can give you 100 million contract, and really you just need 1 million to execute that contract. So more or less, it's just it's just free money. And so it's difficult for you to use the wisdom of such a person to build something if you don't have access to those high leverage contracts. And you have to have your ethics right, you have to have your beliefs right, you have to have your values right, because it's going to be a long journey. And your ability to put up with mistakes, I'll talk about that. You're going to make a lot of them. There will be a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, a lot of losses. So my name is Obeng Darko. Today I'm talking about on the journey of building a business. So because most often people will talk to you, ask you questions, and they asking, everybody you meet will tell you that I'm interested in building a business, and the private sector is good. There's nothing like working for yourself. I say that if you cannot work for somebody, you have no business going to work for yourself. If you are too lazy, don't try to start anything, because if you work 1 hour as an employee, you would need to work about 100 hours or 1,000 for yourself. There's no working hours. There's no free day. If there's a problem, you can't sleep. Because everything, if you don't move, especially at the beginning, if you don't move, nothing moves. You have to do everything. You have to be everything. And that kind of person, you must have a lot of things taught rightly in your head. You must have a lot of things understood well. You must be somebody who is very much confident in yourself and very strong in yourself. You must have some level of courage, and you should be ready to take a risk, what they call risk. You know, I said that who is on the ground has no need to fear because he's on the ground. The lowest you can go is on the ground anyway. So, you know, so the ability to take risk and embrace, and to be controversial, and to be laughed at, and to be ridiculed, you know, and to work with little that comes to you, being so much resourceful. Those are the things that you must learn. If you don't learn those things and you say that, oh, I have some money somewhere, or my uncle has given me money somewhere, I want to go and start a business, that is not something I understand. Majority of the people that you give money to, even people can sell their own properties. There's something that is so dear to them. Sell it and put that thing in business, and yet the business will still collapse. So how much more they want the money that you didn't work for, that somebody gave you? You know, so, and there's nothing wrong. Most business people have lost a lot of businesses before they became successful. So if your first business does not work, it does not mean that it's not going to work. Sometimes you may lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 business. But the good thing is that if you fail, don't fail backwards. You have to fail forward. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep on going, because in every one of them, you are some debt is being taken out of you. You are still being refined. You're still becoming better. You're honing your skill, your tools, and that's what entrepreneurship is about. So Koku, that I was talking about, his brother, I told him that, listen, if somebody promises you to give you a job, I'm not going to be that person, and in our place, we also don't have a place for you anyway. So you better go and think of what you can do for yourself. Don't be so much intellectual, and so be so much intelligent that you want to analyze everything on paper. A lot of our people are like that. They want to analyze, especially those who have gone to school. They want to analyze everything on paper. They want to make sure that they will not fail on paper. So they have perfect business plan. They have perfect business on paper, but the reality is that when you hit the ground, the paper is somewhere, and what you are really building on the ground is somewhere. It's like building a house. In the architects and all those guys will come up with some kind of drawing. They guide you, but you're really not going through every stage and every process as perfectly put on paper. You're not going to go through that. There are a lot of things that you would have to improvise as the data comes, as the live data from the ground comes to you. So you have to have these kind of things to guide you. And you can't wait. You've been at home for 5 years. Nobody is helping you. And sometimes you may not even be thinking of building a business. Maybe it's anything that you're building. Maybe you're building some real estate. Maybe you're investing in real estate or something. These are all the same thing. It's the same kind of thing. You have to really be clear, because when you meet difficulties and you're looking for some malam, you're looking for some prophet, you're looking for some preacher somewhere to pray and all the problems will go away, you are not ready for business. If you think that you can't lose any money and nobody can teach you and lie and cheat you and lie to you, you are not ready for business. If you think that everybody around you is going to be with you forever, you are naive. If you think that all your friends and family will clap for you, you are naive. If you think that everything is going to stay perfect, you are naive. So one of the things that you would have to do is to design something that really makes you committed to becoming better every day, which means you're going to continue to grow and learn and study and feed on knowledge, because the more you grow as a person, the better the results that you get, and so you cannot get stuck with the old understanding of things. You have to continuously challenge yourself and challenge your mind. I think that we are producing a whole generation. We are preparing a whole generation for something that does not exist. We are telling them, become a doctor, become a lawyer, become this, wait for good employment and good pay. Much of it, I think that you have to add something. So you can become an engineer, a doctor, and then you go and start something if you so desire to work in that field by yourself. Create something that can employ you. You still be a doctor and own your own clinic and own your own hospital. Find a way to do that. than saying that I've completed this in medical or something in 5 years, government has not given me a place. I've completed this nursing something, and 10 years, government has not given me a place. So I'm there. No, we are saying that you have to get a skill set to build something for yourself if nobody else is giving you anything to do. You know, if anybody else is not giving you anything to do, if government is not remembering you, you have to remember yourself. You know. So my name is Obeng Darko. I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to watch us. Thank you.